Yeah.
And I got my arthritis is trying to make my hand act up, but I ain't letting it. I done tell my hand every day how I love it and how beautiful it is. Yeah. So I take care. When I get something wrong, I bless it. Any part of my body, and I really believe in that. You know.
Yeah.
You know, to me, my body's a temple. You know, and I eat stuff that sometimes, But otherwise, I'm grateful for everything, every breath I breathe. I'm grateful for. Very spiritual, very, very spiritual. I don't put it on nobody else. I don't believe in death like people do.
What do you believe?
Hmm?
What do you believe when it comes to death?
I believe in the incarnation, and I believe in evolution and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I love it. I really do. I believe it. I don't see the way life is in the plans and seeing the aggression and seeing the evolution and seeing how things evolve. How people just might want to live. What's the point to it?
Mm-hmm.
What's the point? And I'm not the least bit interested. I enjoyed what I enjoyed. I enjoyed knowing my sisters. I'm sharing time with them. I go visit them all the time. I enjoy visiting them. I have a grand time with both of them. I think differently. Conversations I have with Molly are different than the ones I have with Sugar. And I understand both of them my way. I don't compare them. I love them, just because they are. But I'm not saying I'm going to see them in the hereafter or my mother in the here. I don't believe that. I'm giving my body to science. I don't want no funeral. I mean it. I just think when I went to Boston University and let them do what, because so much is found out for life through death,
Mm-hmm.
But I believe, I think people get tired of living, I find it, I'm watching myself age. I'm enjoying watching myself. I'm enjoying watching the changes take place. I realize when I'm slower about it, I realize that I don't remember stuff as well, so I do something about it. I'm not accepting, I'm not going to lose my thoughts and things, and I do them puzzles mostly every day to use my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I go and play dominoes with my friend John to use my brain. That's the point. That's my point. I go to the theater because I enjoy the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I used to, look at how I took my grandkids and everybody over to New York. I saw the Rocket 17 times over there, But I enjoyed it until I got so it's too difficult. It's hard now.
Mm-hmm.
Harder for me. And I realized that. I don't want to do a lot of things I used to do, but I still enjoy doing stuff. I got a seat for $100 now to go down and see the Phantom of the Opera. I done seen it about 4 times. I done saw it in New York and the Wang, the opera. It plays good down at the Opera House too. I want to go see it again. But things like that, things I really enjoy. I pay the price for a good seat. I get a good seat in the orchestra,
Mm-hmm.
So when they end, so in case I have to go to the bathroom, I can go, in aisle seats, so I got a choice of seats and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you believe that when you die, you're reincarnated
Oh yeah.
into another human being, an animal, a plant?
I think life is a map. Well, since I started working on why did I feel the way I feel, I want to know who I was. I read the Bible different than other people. I don't think another minister or somebody else can tell me how to interpret what Jesus said. And I do like Jesus as a teacher. I think he's a master teacher as far as I'm concerned. And I listen to what he has to say to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need anybody else telling me what he's saying. We're all individuals. They tell you no snowflakes are alike. So what I'm saying to you, you're taking it all together a different way than
Mm-hmm.
what I'm, what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. I understand that each person is an individual. I don't try to put what I believe in and stuff like that on my kids. I respect them. I'm glad that they found their soulmates, their lovers. my daughter and her husband, oh boy, I'm over there sometimes. I go into, I don't have to hear it. I'm deaf. I can turn the hearing aids off and stuff. But they with each other. I don't take no sides with nobody. Melvin and Phyllis are made for each other. You know, Wally and Louis, listen, I wish them all the happiness in the world. You know? But it didn't, no one didn't know who I was. When Jesus, that's the first thing, when I was deciding to Jesus on and he said, know yourself, know thyself. That's when I began, because I wanted to free myself from this bondage I was in. I would say maybe it was jealousy or whatever it was. But I liked them. But I didn't think I loved my sisters, like, you know. I liked them, but I didn't be around them that much until I began to change my own self, change my thinking, change my life, you know. So, and shit, you know, different things when about the sickness and stuff like that. Or Jesus said, physician, heal thyself. So heal me, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I believe in. I don't claim a cold. People say my cold and my this. I don't mind nothing. The cold, if I get a cold, I get one like everybody else does sometimes, but I don't own it and I don't claim it. I address it, and I take care of it. But it ain't mine because I didn't ask for it. Come to me, unbeknownst to me. Wash my hands a lot because I believe in that. I carry sanitary stuff around with me. I think that works a lot, you know. But when I started studying like that, little by little, and that's when I began to be a little more in the spiritual mind type. And I love it.
Yeah.
And this,
How do you so when you started studying, was it just the Bible, or did you look at other books or
no,
other?
what happened was it's science of the mind. That's what it is. Science of the mind. It's not that scienceology, but it's science of mind. That's what I studied. Metaphysics.
So at some point you forgave your sisters?
Not forgave my sisters. I had to forgive myself.
Oh, forgive yourself.
Yeah, well, you know, with my sisters, none of it was my sister's fault. They were bewildered and confused with me. You know, they loved me. I just didn't know how to love them like they loved me, you know. They accepted me. It wasn't them. It was always me, and I knew it.
Did you feel like you had to forgive your parents?
Did I feel what?
That you had to forgive your parents?
My parents did the best they knew how. They did the best they knew. I did the best I knew with my kids. You know? I did the best I knew how. They can't, whatever my kids feel as though they find as adults, they want to be mad with me or hold stuff against me or whatever. I don't care. You know? But I mean, it's them that's not feeling it, not me. You know? I felt bad, believe you me. I had pity parties, I call them. You know, until I learned how not to. I don't never have no pity parties no more. I don't need them, you know. I had to find my way, you know. I'm still working on it. But I'm having a great time. And Bonita, I'm happy as I can be. I don't know how, I call myself walking on water. I do.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm thankful and grateful. Nothing. I'm just free, honest. You know.
Awesome.
I don't know how to make anyone understand, but I just know myself as great, and when I find myself starting to, you know, I'm aware of what I think. So I say I know thoughts of things, you know. So I know when to change it now, or when I'm working. Sometimes my friend John can make me so sick, and I get to judging him. I don't want to judge people no more. So I work on that, and you know, when I find I'm aware. So I'm more.
Yeah. You feel like when you judge people, you feel sick, or what?
No,
What
I just found out that I had to find me, right? And when I found me, then I found out that I was people are always judging. See, I do it even right now I'm judging in a sense, but I don't mean to. But when I'm conscious of things that I don't really want to feel that way, you know, and I have to remember they have rights to be who they are. You know, I'm learning, and I think life is just a learning experience, and I think that we learn if you pay attention to what you're the one that makes your own misery. You gotta learn how to stop that. You know, why you taking. Sometimes the way I feel about some people, sometimes, I'll tell you, no, I don't want it on camera, I'll tell you afterwards. See how I'm changing my thinking?
That's good, that's good. So, I know that you used to take a lot of Chinese medicines, right?
No. Do I take a lot of Chinese medicine? No. I like the Chinese medicines. No, I'm not taking a lot of. There's a Chinese mint out here in Chinatown. There's a bottle of stuff like that. When my throat would bother me, I don't have none right now because I'm serious and got some stuff. But no, I would take a little of that. You know. I had a Korean girlfriend that taught me how to do a lot of Chinese cooking, stuff like that. She's the one that taught me the Chinese medicine and Chinatown. But no, I don't take a lot of medicine. I take one blood pressure pill a day, that's all. I'm very seldom take medicine, you know. I'm not a medicine person, you know. At the time, poor little Wally, when he was small, he said, baby, he used to get asthma. And I told him, I said, you better stop doing that. You know better than that. Poor baby would be dying. I'd be on my way to the hospital with him, you know. And tell him, I said, well, you know what? He got over it. He got in the Navy. You know what I mean? He sounds like when he gets a cold, he sounds worse than we do. But I told him to get rid of that. I didn't allow him to even have asthma, you know. But that came from my grandmother, Genki. Genki didn't believe in sickness either. I took a lot behind her. But nobody realized it. And I didn't realize it until I started thinking how much Genki had a big influence on me.
Yeah.
A big influence. She had a big influence on how I eat, how I prepare food, how I know how to take care of food, how to cook and everything. Genki had a big influence on me. But nobody was paying attention to what was going on between Genki and I. And I wasn't paying that much attention to be aware of it until I watched how I do and the things that I believe. And she was into metaphysics. She was the one that brought us into it. She brought us into this Christian Science church. My parents went to Presbyterian church. I went to the Presbyterian church, but metaphysics was what became what I became aware of, and do it every single day. Do my I call it my prayer work, you know. And I take and read a thing every day, you know. Write a prayer out every morning when I wake up, and I believe God is within me, you know. I don't have a God, but this guy got people do here. I have a girl come by here and she sits and talks to me about, I love her, I like her, she's a nice young lady, and I think it's wonderful that she's doing what she's doing, you know. But I told her, I don't want to come back here. She said, how about you? She thinks because I'm old that I ain't worried about dying. Bonita, I don't care if I lay down tomorrow or tonight, it don't matter. I've had a wonderful life, you know. I've enjoyed it so much. And I had every charge call in Boston. I went, but look at all the places I went. Traveling, good time. Oh, I'm happy, you know, that I had sense enough to do that. I paid all my bills on time, you know, paid everybody. A couple of times I get so I could be too broke. I'd send them the interest. Told them I can't pay you next month, you know. Because I'd hurt myself going places, you know. But I got good 100% good credit, you know, kept good credit. Paid my bills and think about all the good stuff that I was being led to enjoy. And I think that, wow, you know. I've been to Hawaii 3 times, you know. And they went to Taiwan and England and France, you know, just about every state in the United States. And down to Bermuda, Ontario, Canada. Yeah, I had a grand time. You know, life was magnificent, but we could have learned to live it. And you got every day is so beautiful. You just gotta see beyond the clouds. You know, it's we got so much to be thankful for. I even got to going Franklin Park and picking up stones and giving people great gratitude stones. Yeah, so they could remember to be grateful. You know, make it up, paint fingernail polish on it and everything. Yeah, but it's good. It's a wonderful life, you know. We just have to learn how to live it, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really awesome,
Yeah.
Auntie Rere. I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like you. I feel the same way. Like,
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Good.
I travel. I love my life.
Yeah, isn't it wonderful?
It's amazing. It's a blessing.
Yeah, it is. And providing you realize that it's up to you. You know, when you were going to school, right? On them boats and all, how lucky were you then? You know what I'm saying? But you know what? You studied. You used your brain. You knew that Bonita had to do it. So you see, that's what Jesus to me. Know the truth, and the truth will set you free. You know, if you ever decide to pick up the Bible and read yourself, just see what he's saying. All the time he's telling us how to live. That was, I believe, that was his job when he was born on the planet. I don't believe he's the son of God. I don't believe Mary was a virgin. What difference does it make? You know what I'm saying? But if you can read the philosophy that he shared with people, and you got to see too how many years it was after they crucified him that they started writing it, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and all that. You know, 200 years, whatever years, but their interpretation of his teaching. You know, so but the thing of it is, I think that you feel out of it. You take, which helped me. Oh, girl, you don't know. You know, especially when I knew I had such a problem within myself, not anybody else, me. What's wrong? And Bonita, I had to find these things out. I had a lot of things. I don't want this on camera either, you know. I'll tell you that afterwards too. But I think if I don't forget. But you know, it is a magnificent life. You know, I mean, you can walk down the street, and if you look down on the ground and see all them, you can see about 10 or 15 flowers. Different little teeny ones, purple ones, yellow ones. Beauty's out there, but you gotta see it, and no matter what, you know, you have to. It's there.
So I have a question about the reincarnation. What you believe reincarnation? Do you believe that? So you said you're reincarnated into another baby. Another baby's born, and and your soul is in the baby.
Yeah.
Do you believe that you can remember or your other lives? No, it's all away.
No, I think that you're here to learn how to live, how to love, you know, and what love is all about. We don't have to be jealous or hate people. I hate you because you're not like me. Stuff like that, you know. I got a song, I love myself the way I am. There's nothing for me to change. You know, I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can because I love myself just the way I am, you know.
It's a nice song.
You know. So I think my next lifetime, it'll be even better because I'm on the path. And I'm on the path of going on to a higher level. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful, Auntie.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do. I feel that way. I'm just, especially when I think about how it's not even the crossing my mind about dying at all, you know? And then out of that, I just seem to want to do what I want to do. I don't mind being hard of hearing. Sorry that it upsets people. You know, I'm fine.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
I think we're good. I'm gonna stop now. But I wanted to ask you questions about, like, if you could tell me a little bit about your childhood, but also about your parents and about your grandparents and stuff like that, and growing up in the Depression. If you could tell me a little bit about, um, like you told me once before about your mother losing weight while she was
carrying me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So you can talk about growing up first, or you can talk about your grandparents or your parents, stuff like that.
My mother told me that she lost, I think she said 28 pounds or something like that when she was carrying me because she thought it was more important to feed the children that was already here than it was to feed her. And I just happened to be in her at the time, but yeah, she was a great person.
Yeah.
She used to have little tricks that she used to do with potatoes, particularly. We had potatoes every single day of our lives, I believe. But they were like never the same 2 days in a row. She'd have like scalloped and mashed and with some onions thrown in, fried or whatever. But it was always different, so it really didn't seem like it was the same thing. But that's what she could afford, so that's what we had. Little tiny, weeny potatoes because they were something like a penny a pound. So, but we ate. How did that happen? Excuse me.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't do this because you're in the way.
Oh. There you go.
But that was one of the things I really remember about her. And
Did you guys have rice a lot? Or
bread?
Rice. No, it's potatoes every day.
Yeah, potatoes.
Yeah.
Very rarely did we have rice, but we had chicken every Sunday. One chicken for the 5 of us. And I don't remember how we had it for breakfast. Maybe we didn't have it for breakfast. Maybe we just had it for lunch and supper. But she would cut it up. Daddy would have a drumstick because that's what he liked. And, there's 2 drumsticks, there's 2 thighs, there's 2 wings, and then there's the rest of the bird, right? So the rest, the breast and that part, she would take that, maybe fricassee it or something, right? And then maybe she would like fry the chicken. And we would all have plenty of chicken off that one probably 2-pound chicken. But also, chicken was the cheapest meat, right? And I don't ever remember having turkey at home. We did have turkey every Thanksgiving, but we went out to someplace else, like on Mass Avenue. It's a jazz club now. It was a jazz club then too, but they used to have turkey dinners, and people in the neighborhood or whatever could go to the dinner, and they would have all the, candied yams and collard greens and turkey, anything you could name, they would have. And you'd have that once a year, but it would be very good. And okay, Daddy, he was our entertainer. He was one of those like one finger piano players, right? And he would play the piano. We would sing songs with him. And the only thing at that time with Daddy was he's an alcoholic and he had to drink. But he would take us places. And we'd have to wait outside of the tavern while he went in to get a drink. But he would still take us everywhere. I mean, like on Halloween, we could get dressed up and he would take us around. And they didn't do the stores so much in those days like they do now. But they did, like your friends' houses and things like that. And you couldn't afford very much, like you might get a piece of candy or where you would. But you ended up with enough, right? And we took us to the rodeo and to the circus and things like that. Mom wasn't into those kind of things. Mom was more practical because that 50 cents you paid to go to the circus or to the rodeo, that could go on rent and food as far as Mom was concerned. And Daddy, no.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we moved like maybe 5 times a year because the rent wasn't paid. I think that's one of the reasons why I hate to move even furniture around in the house that I live in. But every time you turned around, you were moving. Like we'd be in place for 2 months, maybe 3 months. We'd be moving again. And but it was okay with Daddy and him. That was his way of showing us that he loves us, right? So that was good. Now, my grandmother, she was a little bit on the mean side.
Which grandmother?
The only grandmother that I knew, which was my father's mother, Genki. I have been told by my sisters that I met my mother's mother, but I don't remember her.
Her name was Carrie, right?
No, that was
That was your...
great. That my mother's name was Molly, and my father's mother was Carrie. I don't know if it was Carrie Lily or Lily Carrie, but I know both my middle sister and I were named after her.
Your father's...
My father's mother, whom we call Genki.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I thought your father's mother was Genki.
Yeah.
But her real name was Lily Callie. Carrie.
Either Carrie Lily or Lily Carrie. I don't know. But,
Oh, okay.
But my middle sister, which is Lillian, was named after Lily, and my name, Carrie Dolores. I don't know where Dolores came from, but I know the Carrie came from my grandmother and my aunt. But I used to hate that name. I don't mind it now as an adult, but as a child, oh.
Why?
Because I used to always be teased with the song "Carry Me Back to Old Virginia," and instead of just saying "Carrie," they'd have to do the whole song, But I was okay. When I was in the, I don't know, 2nd grade maybe, my mother allowed me to have the name changed in school. So then I went by Dolores, which C. Dolores. So my graduation certificate said C. Dolores Johnson. And that was good. Okay. I don't know if my grandmother was really so mean or she was just so strict that she really couldn't do anything.
Your mother was strict, though, right?
My mother, yeah, but she was strict she wasn't strict in a mean way. My grandmother was strict in a mean way. But my grandfather, who was not actually my grandfather, but my grandmother married him the same year I was born. So he's been the only grandfather that I knew. And he was the one that taught me how to play cards. And he used to work what they called in service. And in service was when you worked in someone's home, and you would have every Thursday off and every other Sunday. And when he would come in town, he would have some pennies for my sisters and I. And, a penny back then was, you could get candy for a whole week for 5 pennies. Yes. I mean, like, sugar daddies that they have now, I think it was 5 cents or something like that for 2 of them. And they used to call them like all-day suckers, because it would sometimes like take you almost a whole day to eat one of them things, because they were bigger. The 2 for a nickel were bigger than the 25-cent one is now. And that was nice. And he used to take, I don't remember him taking my sisters many places, but I do remember him taking me to the fireworks down in the Commons and letting me sit on his shoulders so I could see over everybody else, because I've never been very tall. And that was fun. And what else? Oh, he taught me how to play whist, and I was so good at whist that the adults would let me play with them. But
Is that how you learned to play most of your games, with your grandfather?
well, yeah, my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he taught me how to play checkers, right? And there was not too many games that we could afford, but the ones that we did have, he was the one that basically, well, he had time. He was like a lot of grandparents are, that they have time for children. And my sisters didn't have time for him, so they didn't use the opportunity to learn how to play the games, etc. with him that I learned how to play with him. And that was good. Now, what else? What else would you like to know?
So, your childhood. You talk about I know that you were sick when you were younger. What were you sick with? How were you sick?
I had spot on my lung, which was not tuberculosis, but it was close. And I had to go into some institution for that for I don't know how long. And then I had rheumatic fever, and I had to learn how to walk all over. I was in a crib. I don't remember how old I was. I think I was around 5-ish. But I used to keep sneaking out of the crib and fall on the floor. I was in a wheelchair, and when you walked, you don't want to be in a wheelchair. And I was always trying to walk. And I did manage to, they said I did manage to walk faster than anybody else that had lost the use of their limbs because I'm stubborn. And I wanted to walk again. But then we used to play with the wheelchairs. I mean, we would race with them and go down to the swimming pool and dive off our wheelchairs into the pool. And, things that kids do. Kids in wheelchairs, they do the same things that the kids that are not in wheelchairs, if they're allowed to. I need to blow my nose.
Good.
Okay. I prevent forgetting that you can change those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was in 2 institutions, one for rheumatic fever and one for the spot on my lungs. And the bad thing about rheumatic fever is it stays in your body forever. I ended up with a heart murmur from the rheumatic fever. And now, these many thousands of years later, the doctor that, will be listening to my heart and hear that murmur for the first time, they see this expression on their face. And I say, oh yeah, it is pretty loud, isn't it? And they'll say, how'd you know? I said, because every single doctor that I have gotten that listens to it gives an expression like yours, or did you know you have a heart murmur or something like that? Oh yes. And if there's a young student around being taught, then, oh, do you mind if I get the student and let him listen or let her listen? I said, no, I don't mind. At one time, I said something, and the doctor said, oh, I didn't want you to say that. 'Cause I said something about the murmur being loud, and they wanted the student to do that on their own. So from here on in, I didn't do that anymore. So
Did you have asthma when you were a kid?
I had asthma very bad when I was young. But, and then I hit teenage, and it like left. And from when maybe I was 14 or something like that, I didn't have asthma anymore until I was around 30 something. And my oldest daughter, I think it was my oldest daughter, one of my two daughters, brought home two kittens. And I ended up in the hospital that night. And I realized it was those two kittens, so they were out of that house before I got home from the hospital. And then after that, I had asthma frequently, and I was in the hospital frequently. And then I met this male nurse, and he told me, if you feel like you're getting asthma, he said, go to the cleanest place you can find and inhale and blow out as hard as you can. He said, because most people that have asthma have a tendency to breathe short, like that, and that's the worst thing that they could do for themselves, because that just helps it really grab hold. But if you go, like, wherever you might be the bathroom, right, and just and blow out like that, chances are you don't stop it. And since then, I've been doing that. And I've been to the hospital once since then, and that was more of a cold than it was asthma. It was a cold that had been lingering for like 2 weeks, but it seemed to be getting worse instead of better. And I stayed in the hospital overnight, came out, I was fine. But if I hadn't have met that male nurse and he told me that, I probably would have kept up that same thing. Like almost every month I was in the hospital. One time I was in there for over 3 weeks.
So I know you were sickly when you were a child, but you got sick from a fever, right? You said the hay fever? What type of fever was it?
Rheumatic.
Like, that's the actual fever? You're not born with that, are you?
I don't know how you get it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why you get it.
Yeah.
Anything about it. All I know is that's what they told me I had. Rheumatic fever, and that's when I had to stay in that place.
And so you stopped being sick when you were a teenager?
Stop with the asthma part, Everybody gets cold and hay fever and stuff like that. And when the asthma came back, when I had to be close to 40. I had to be close to 40 because it was after Craig was born. And I was 30, I think I had just turned 36 when he was born. And I don't know exactly how old I was, but I know I was above 35 when when it started coming back.
How old were you with your first child?
Almost 20.
How old were you? When did you get married?
I got married in 49, and I had Eddie in 51.
How did you meet your husband?
I'm not positive. I either met him at a friend of mine named Dolores' house or at the USO that we had in the basement of our church. My friend Dolores, she lived down the street from the church, and she used to entertain the service, men and women there. Not so many women, because at this time there weren't that many women in the service. But anyone that would go to the USO would go to her house sometime. Wow, this must be a big fire. 2 ladders. 4 fire trucks.
And a police car.
Oh, there's always a police car.
4 fire trucks?
There's 2 ladders and 2 engines. Okay, I know that can be blocked out.
Yeah.